Hi, Nicholas here. Welcome to the Akousunesis method. Today we're going to do some finger exercises and we're going to be looking at Flight of the Bumblebee. If you click on the link below, it'll take you to my website, take you straight to the exercise, which is here. We're going to do a quick one today. We're only going to look at the first 4 bars, right? So the first line here. So each bar corresponds to an exercise. So we're just on the right hand only. And we're not going to be too concerned about the mode or the context of the piece, which key it's in, though there's no key signature, so it's a key of C. And also that G sharp here is hinting that it could be the Aeolian mode in the key of C. It does start on the E, which is a Phrygian mode, but it has that G sharp, right, which is Phrygian sharp 4 here. So it is suggesting that it's an Aeolian. But anyway, because the notes up here cover every single, we're going to look today at the fingering up here, and it covers every note. So we start on the high E up here, right? Start on the E, so I'll be over here. And so we're coming down and we're going to end up on that F, and then we're going to repeat the same fingers. And we're going to find that the ring finger is going to be important. I'll just put the aircon up a little bit. So the ring finger, and we're also going to look at the flow of it. So you can see here as we come down, it just runs down chromatically. So it's a chromatic exercise. And it's a great exercise that we can use for other pieces. Right? So we're just getting used to our finger movements. So you can see the first thing we're going to notice is that ring, right, it's coming down and going back up to the ring, right? We'll have a look at the exact placements in a sec. So it's going down to the index and then back up to the ring. So it's going to go ring, ring, ring. And it just flows and finishes. So it helps you when you're learning this, and when I was learning it, it helped me by just emphasising that ring finger, because that ring finger is where we came back up again. So we start on the ring, ring. So we go up a semitone, come down to the index again. So it's that ring to the index. So just those 3 fingers, 3-finger exercise. Ring, ring, back up a semitone. Then we go down to the thumb with the index and the thumb. Then we're on the middle and we finish up. So let's have a look at the finger placement for the exercise, all right? Because you'll be able to use this to work it out. This gives you the exact, and it's all relative pitch, right? So they're not absolute notes. And so you'll see that it's a repeated pattern. That and that is exactly the same. So that bar is the same as that bar, right? But these are different notes. These are absolute notes, right? But they're the same notes. It's just an octave lower, right? So let's have a look. So we have, what's important here is the E, right? So all these numbers, right, are referenced to the note E. That's our root note, right? It's the root note of the exercise, right, is the E. Now, but we're starting up here. So right hand, right ring on 1. There's our 1. Then we're coming down, right, to the middle on the 7th. And then we do a slide. That's a slide. So I want you to practice just these notes here. So ring on 1, right hand, ring on 1, middle on 7, slide down to the -7, slide down. 7 -7, 1, 7 -7, 1, 7 -7. Now you can put in the index finger, which is, if that's a -7, that's the 6. So there's one way to fly in the 6, you find the 5th rule, and it's a tone up. So remember, there's the root of the exercise is the E, right? Tone up, right? That's your 6. You also know that a 6 is right next to a -7, but you just know that in time, right? You'll learn that. But that's a quick way to find it, right? 5th rule, remember the 5th rule, right? So you practice that. Now you can slide it down, right, easily from the black to, with the middle finger, from the major 7 to the -7, but you can't slide up. You find a lot of jazz people, they use that a lot. There's slides from black to whites. They're usually fast notes. Right, now, once we hit that index, we're going to put our ring now. So we've covered the first 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're on ring on the -7. here. So we've noticed we've come down, we've started on the ring finger, we've come down, direction, right to the index, start ring, to the 3 notes, then we move back up to the ring. So that's up to the ring on the -7. There's a -7 with the ring. Then we have the middle on the 6, up here, right? There's a 6. And then it slides down to the +5. Remember, that's a 5th, so that's a +5, and that's a 6. The middle slides to the +5, and the index lands on the 5 here. So we're here now, right? Index on the 5. So let's practice that. Ring. Then we go back up a semitone, ring. Now slide down. So there's those middle fingers. The middle finger's the slide from the major 7 to the -7, and from the 6 to the +5, right? We slide down. The index lands on the 5, right? Back up. And then back up again, the ring is going to be on the +5. So we come down here now, right ring on +5. There's a 5th, there's a +5, right ring, right? And again, we've got the middle on 5. Oh, sorry, let me just refresh this because I've corrected this and I just didn't refresh this page. Refresh it one more time. For some reason, you'll refresh this twice. And again. There we go. It's fixed it. Okay, so we got the ring on the +5. We got the middle on the 5. We got the index on the -5, which is here. And then the thumb is on the 4, right? So there's a 5th, there's the 4, but where thumb is on the 4. So let's go up to the thumb, right? So it's ring, 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 ring. Oop. And we're covering every single note. So we're just it's just a chromatic move down. Up again, right? So it'll take you a little bit of time to do it, but what you do is you put in all those memory associations. So the first memory association is the ring finger, and again, we move up to the ring. So that's another memory association. The flow. So you're going down, and up. So that's the second memory association. Ring, ring, ring. All right, and then we just come down to the thumb. And then we're on the middle up here. So we're down here now. The middle is on the major third. And then it's again another slide. So you'll notice another memory association you can make is that your middle always lands on a black note, slides down. So that's another memory association. So the more memory associations you can make, the quicker you are to learn this. Rather than just trial and error, make mistakes, try and error. You're better off thinking about it and taking your time and just thinking and applying all these memory associations, and you'll find you'll learn it much quicker. And then the muscle memory will take over, because this is more of a muscle memory type of a exercise. Tonally, we're just hearing intervals come down. The most exciting thing tonally is when it just jumps back up, right? So we're listening, comes down, then goes up, and all the way, and then runs down all the way, right? So it just comes back up twice there. Up, and then runs down. And then again, middle, major, minor, index on the 2, right? And then this time we're not sliding down with the index, we're putting a thumb on the -2, right? There's the 1, that's a -2, thumb. The reason we put our thumb there, not sliding the index, is because we want to go again. And again, we're going to be on the ring, see? Thumb, ring. And then it's just all the same. So the next 2 is the same as the first 2. So we really only have to learn the first 2, right? And take it slow. Right? And you keep going down. So that's all we're going to do with this lesson. We're just going to do the first 4 bars, right? The first line. And then we can continue in another lesson, and in the other lesson I'll have the same video, but it'll be another exercise. It might not be exercise 5, it could be a later one, 7, 8, it doesn't matter. Then so I've written it out to go, so you can come here and have a look. I've just got to double check to make sure that these are correct, because I did this in a coffee shop without a keyboard handy, so I was just visualizing it in my head. So I just double check that they're correct. Now with the left hand, we can probably do that in another time possibly. I'm not sure if we're going to want to do more of this, but you can see that the left hand, we have the notes here, G sharp, right? So that's the most interesting thing. This is quite a spread, and I don't even think I could actually, I don't think I can reach that, because that's like here right up to there. And how you do that on one hand, you can't. But what you do know is, because you know the modal context of the piece, right? You know the E and the G sharp is the important bits. So you could just do it up here, you know. So that E chord, right, is the main chord, right? The main chord. Now, even though I've written it in E minor here, because I've written it in E minor because it's in the key of C, and E minor is the third in the key of the Phrygian mode. But you can see here it comes out of key, which turns that into a major, right? And just at the spot where it would have been a harmonic minor in the key of C, A minor harmonic. But we don't start on the A, we start on the E, so we start on another mode. So it's a Phrygian mode we're starting on. Now, it doesn't matter about that to do this exercises. This will give you, as you get better and better of understanding what this means, it's going to help you in composition, how to muck around with modes, and we've got a whole composition section on that, and we start to introduce more and more modes and more formulas here and more things you can do. So you'll learn all your modes because you'll know all your keys, and we're going to do one key at a time. Because if you know the Ionian, you know all the modes. You don't have to think of the other modes, right? So I can play from F to F, right? Lydian, right? F to F. So we've done all this before. I've mentioned all this before in another lesson, right? So, but you just know to press the white notes, right? Anyway, so we've done here, and I think that's all we're going to do. And I'll see you in another exercise, I suppose, or another lesson. I'm still working on Your Song by Elton John. So whenever you see this red preparing video, it means I'm still working on it. So this could be in any stage of development. Like I don't even have any intervals here ready yet. So I'll prep all that up and get ready for another analysis video. I think Elton's song's a pretty popular song. So I work off, with the song analysis, I work off suggestions. And with the exercises, I try to support each other. I try to get like exercises supporting each other. Like we learnt a 3M in one of these somewhere, I can't remember, but we got a 3M here as well in this course, the Flight of the Bumblebee. So I think it could have been the John Thomas courses. Any other courses that I come up with in the future courses will all be listed under courses. So we might have a specific course on a certain certain thing, maybe a blues thing or something, and I'll put it here in this list of courses. But general exercises are things that you have to, you're exercising your fingers, right? And I'll try to put clippets from pieces, like I've got the Pink Panther theme there, and I'll try to put things that will actually help you. The exercises will help you in learning songs and composing and using those exercises. So they're not just boring exercises, they're actually, like this exercise is fun. It's quite fun to do, the Flight of the Bumblebee. All right, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.